Ladies and gentlemen,
What you gonna do, brother?
oh yeah!
Woo! What? What?
If you smell what the rock.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Welcome to another edition of Around the Turnbuckle. My name is the Big Alboski. His name is Professor Keith. And tonight we are joined from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Frankie Pickard. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all been?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. How you feeling? I know you wrestled last night.
Yeah, I felt good.
Excellent. Excellent. Keith, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. All things considered, it was a good Sunday at work, so can't complain about that.
And the Ravens won. You're a Ravens
And
fan.
the Ravens won, yes.
Oh, man, you're a
Shout out
Ravens
to someone
fan.
like the Ravens won if you're watching.
Sorry, Frankie. Sorry, Frankie. All right, guys, we're off and running. Frankie Pickard, thanks for joining us, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. We've been checking out your stuff, all the stuff you sent us. You sent me 120 matches, Frankie Pickard. So,
He's thorough.
What?
He's thorough.
He's very thorough. So yeah, we've been checking you out, man, and I love what I see. And you are, I mean, when did you start? When did you get your start in the business? Like, what year did you start?
Oh, man.
You have to think on that one, Keith.
Yeah, I have to. It's wow. It's been so long. I started 2011.
2011.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking, you're going on 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you have held a plethora of championships.
Yes.
Do you remember all of them?
Yes. I remember some of them. No, I remember all of them.
All right, well, you're the current H2O hybrid champ, right?
Yes.
And can you like spout off maybe like some of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them, maybe?
I'm the former CZW Wired champion.
Mm-hmm.
I was ECWA tag team champion. I was.
Who was your partner?
Tahir James.
Okay.
Also was the trifecta champion. At the time, it was Standalone Wrestling, Pro Wrestling After Dark, and Titans. And then let's see. Man, that's a lot of belts. BWO, Body Slam Wrestling Southern Heavyweight Champion. IWA Breakout. No, yeah, it was the Breakthrough Divisions Champion.
Yeah, you liking this list, Keith? It just keeps getting longer.
It does. I was going to start asking what some of these, like, more off-the-wall titles are, but he just keeps coming out with belts. I feel like if I start asking too many questions, we're going to be here all night. Just trying to explain what each championship is.
Just be like, how did you get it?
We got our first comment. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Teresa.
Hi.
Do they sometimes refer to you as Captain Pickard?
Yes. A lot of people, it started off when I was in school. It'll be like calling me, "What's up, John Luke? How you doing, John Luke Pickard?" Or
John
"Where's
Luke
your
Pickard.
starship? Did you park your Enterprise?" It's just like it goes on and goes on.
All right, man. So pre-show, we were talking about that all the indie guys that we've been meeting have a love and a passion for this business that we respect highly.
Right.
And so where did that come from for you? When did that start? When you were a kid? Like, who was your influences? What did you start watching wrestling?
So I've been watching wrestling for a long period of time. When I was in the foster home, I was watching. My first favorite was Power Rangers, and then some weird reason it was after Power Rangers. It was World Wrestling Federation when I was watching Hulk Hogan and
Sure.
the Ultimate Warrior, and I'm like, oh, this is like interesting.
You're up my alley right there.
Yes. So it was like I kept watching it, and then I think what really got me hooked in more as a kid growing up, it was like the Super Bowls for me, like how like really strong football fans, how they feel about it. Was like the Rock and Triple H feud, their long feud. They've been up there, and I've been wanting the Rock to win, and every time he was this close, and Triple H takes it away, and I used to been mad. You don't know how many TVs I went through. I done broke crap. I was going nuts. I was going bonkers. I was going to my friend's house and we watch it, and we'll watch the pay-per-view. Because at the time the pay-per-view was like you had to pay money to watch it.
Yep.
So my grandparents wouldn't let me. They were like, "What? I ain't spending all that money." I was like, "Cool, I'll go to my friend's house." And I'll go there, and I started having arguments, and I'm like, "Oh God!" And like my friend, he was like a big Triple H fan, and he's like, "Oh, Triple H is the man," and I'm like, "Oh, screw Triple H." It's like The Rock had it, and we used to bet and just make wagers of who will win. And
sure.
Somehow I came up with the short stick of it. So,
well, me and Keith used to have a group get together every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Especially the main four, like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. But lately, over the past couple of years, we have kind of gotten away from the mainstream product. When I say mainstream, I mean WWE, and kind of paid more attention to what's going on in NXT and WWE and AEW.
Right.
And then pandemic hit, and things get kind of goofy, and you had your first WrestleMania with no crowd. I mean, it was it's a weird time, right? So now you guys are starting to have outdoor shows and crowds where you're starting to actually get fans to go back to the events, which is awesome. And so we started this show as just a bunch of guys talking wrestling, and next thing you know, we start meeting local guys, and then next thing you know, we're having a local guy on every week. So I mean, this is great. This is great sitting down talking to you guys about wrestling and talking about you guys, your career, where you started, how you got started. Speaking of which, you started circa 2011. Like, when did you start? Where did you go to school? Where did you learn this? When did that start?
So funny thing is, like me and my friend, we used to love watching wrestling so much. We went to school, so every Halloween, like my friend, I think there was something wrong with him in the head because his best wrestler was The Undertaker. So I'll come up there and I'll go to school and dressed up as like just a superhero, but he'll go all out dressed like a wrestler. So he came in one time and he didn't know who he wanted to be, so he combined it, and he was like, he dressed up as the American Badass Undertaker, had the leather coat, and then he had the hat, and then some odd reason he had like the chucks on the side of his face, the sideburns the chucks made it out of shoe polish.
Yeah.
So it was like
So you're saying basically he was doing the 2004 Undertaker look before Taker even thought to do it.
Right. Yeah, it was just like, it was weird. But so me and Hill had plans for going to wrestling. But all day my knowledge was at the time was WCW and WWF. So I was like, man, how can you do this? So my friend told me about like schools, they have like training to be a professional wrestler. So I waited for him because me and him said that we was gonna go in together, and then it just never happened. He went me and him separated. So I said, let me go try it out. So I started looking at like different schools, and the first thing that popped up that was like near me in Philadelphia was Combat Zone Wrestling.
Ah,
So I sent a message, and DJ Hyde respond back, and he's like, "Oh, you want to be a wrestler? Come down and do the tryout." And I was like, "All right." Which the tryout was brutal because I was like dying. The next day, my legs was rubbery as hell. But did I started off with CZW. That's where I started. My trainer was Drew Gulak.
right.
And
Okay.
he's the one that trained me and Connor Claxton and Penelope Ford and
Ford. Yep.
Mhm.
a couple of other guys, Dan O'Hare, Schlack. So it's like it's a really original group that came together, and Drew Gulak taught us all. And huge respect out to and props to Drew Gulak for finally fulfilling his dreams and coming up big in the
Absolutely.
WWE world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. He's doing good things.
he
Yeah.
really is.
I got some
I
questions.
think a lot of people who don't know would be surprised that Drew Gulak came up through CZW because CZW is kind of almost known as like ECW on acid to a
Mm,
degree, where it's much more hardcore and violent and kind of looked at the
Crazy.
violence of ECW and was like, yeah, we can beat that.
I
We can
right.
got
do
some.
better than that.
I got some fan questions for you here. Alan asks, "Are there any wrestlers, past or present, who inspire your moveset?"
Yes. The Rock inspired me. The Rock inspired me, and Randy Orton. Um, those are the two that really, and Triple H. Even though that
Triple
I
H.
didn't like him when I was growing up, but then I find in my heart that
Respect.
I have a soft spot for Triple H.
Prince Shango, do you know him?
No.
Prince Shango, biggest lesson you've learned in this business?
Uh business biggest lesson to learn is know your crowd. Also help out one another, because at the end of the day, like the students in the business, we're all family. As one person fell, no, we all did. I remember one time I thanked one person out of the students made some type of mistake or did something wrong. And I remember Gulak came in, he was like, okay. And we had nothing but blow-up drills for the whole, I'll say, good 5 hours. Nothing but blow-up drills. It's just like, I
Shango
didn't know what it was.
says, "Oh, you don't know me, Frankie? You don't know me now, Frankie?" Shango.
Oh, Shango.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, great friend of the show when he's not yelling at us.
Yeah. Yeah, we love Shango.
We do.
He's talking about CCW here on acid with a shot of cocaine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, ECW with on acid with a shot of cocaine. Right.
Well, I mean, are you familiar with CZW, Alan? I mean, I haven't watched a lot of it, but I mean, being a internet wrestling nerd, I know it by reputation. It was one of the promotions in Philly that came out of ECW. You had
Yeah,
CZW, Ring
it's
of
hard.
Honor, and a
It's
couple of others.
hardcore. I know it's hardcore. I've seen some stuff. He sent me a lot of his stuff, and some of it was CCW stuff. But That all I know is that like Shango said, it's like ECW, like, you know, on coke. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah, you just don't know what to expect. It's like every time that you see them, they'll top everything. Like
And
it's
you
like,
were
man, we
champion.
could, huh?
You were CCW champion, weren't you?
I was the Wired champion. I
You're
was
Wire
never the like
champion.
heavyweight. Yeah, I
Now,
was the
now
Wired champion.
what is the difference between the Wired champion and the heavyweight champion?
So CZW Wired TV champion.
Siala.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's what
Siala.
it was. That's basically like the internet buzz, and you're the
Okay.
internet champion or TV champion. But
Mhm.
I never got to that heavyweight position.
Right. All right. So you
I was thinking because it was CZW for a minute, I thought maybe it involved barbed wire or something.
what's up, Greg?
Another fellow wrestler,
Hey,
Greg Winter,
Greg.
friend of ours in Tennessee. You know Greg?
No.
Yeah, Greg wrestles down in TCW in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. I need to come down there, check you out.
He is their champion unless he lost it last night. I know he defended it last night. He can let us know that.
He's on almost that Cody Rhodes schedule, the way he's defending that thing.
Well, you know, they're being cautious, but they had an event last night. I know that, and he was defending his title. So, you know, whether he won or not, he can let us know. So you get started, you go to the school, you learn from Drew Gulak.
Mm-hmm.
So when was your first booked match? Do you remember it? Do you know who it was?
My very first or is
In front of a crowd, I mean.
in front of the crowd. Yeah. But it was against Connor Claxton. We had I don't know, I lost count after 30 back and forth matches between me and him. And then it moved up to a couple other matches, and surprisingly, I fought Joe Gacy, and that's when I fought for the CZW Wired title.
Yeah,
and that surprised me, even me. I didn't even know that I was going to, win that one.
So we asked this question to everybody. No disrespect intended towards anybody else that you've ever worked with, but who was the easiest guy to work with? Like who did you have the best chemistry with so far?
The best chemistry that I had.
Like you'd wrestle all the time if you could.
Mike Dell.
Okay.
How
many times did you wrestle him?
I wrestled him. The funniest part is I wrestled him twice, but somehow that me and him wrestled, we wound up still in the show.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was he was definitely Triple H and I was definitely The Rock.
Right.
The chemistry was right there. We went to freelance wrestling, and they had us in a dark match up there.
Yeah.
And somehow we killed it in the dark match, and then the internet buzz about how the match between me and Mike Dell. And then we had it again a few years later. Me and Mike Dell fought again, and again it was at Standing On Wrestling. And
Shango chimes in with Frankie and Delicious at CCW was good.
Yes.
I can see that being good, yeah, because you guys, I think, have very similar personalities, if not very similar styles. So I could see you guys playing off of each other really well.
So how'd that go?
Your ring personalities, I should say, because we haven't actually met Delicious.
I did.
Oh well, okay. But from what I've seen of him in ring, I could see where you in ring, him in ring, the way you guys work, the personalities you exude when you're in there, I could see that meshing very well.
Oh man, we definitely we'll go at it and we'll make it fun and it's like he's me and him we just have fun and we're just basically like we'll go in and kill the town.
Right.
And you know, he's very easy to work with and I would love to work with him a million times.
There you
He's
go.
definitely a good person to work with.
All right, so now, fast forward to now. It seems like you have a busy schedule. Like you're booked a lot.
Yeah.
So you have right down on the bottom of your screen, guys. He's actually gonna wrestle tomorrow night at H2O Undiscovered in Glassboro Road in Williamstown, New Jersey. If you're in the Jersey area or if you're in the Williamstown area, go check my man out tomorrow night.
And I got Still Smoking merchandise.
Yes.
Merchandise about. Hold up. I'm about to. Yeah.
You got masks, Still Smoking masks.
Yes.
All that stuff will be available at the show. And and where can they check out your other stuff? Just on your Facebook page, or do you have?
Yeah, you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram. I'm about to reformat YouTube, so like my YouTube page is kind of down a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's just basically you can find me I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just type down Frankie Pickard and it will pop straight up.
All right, so we love to do this next segment. This is my favorite. I don't know if it's Keith's.
Okay.
But we do a segment called Dream Match, and this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dream Match meaning I want you to give us a wrestler, past, present, or future, whatever, that if you had your choice to wrestle in the ring, like on TV, who would it be and why? And then when you're done, I'll give you mine, and Keith will give you yours about who we think you should wrestle.
Okay.
So first, you're first.
Okay.
Alive or dead? Alive or dead?
Yeah.
Alive or dead? I will say Leo Rush.
Really?
Yes.
I can see that.
His character and his determination and his fighting abilities is so much similar like mine's.
Mm-hmm.
In a way. I think that it will have a good chemistry. That will probably be the dream match. My very first dream match will be me versus The Rock. But
of course.
I don't know when is that going to happen.
Well, you guys love The Rock, man.
Hey,
the
Rock,
biggest
fight me. I can. I got the Fast and the Furious I got to do.
A lot of you guys either say, it's just funny, a lot of you guys either say The Rock or you say Eddie Guerrero. Those are the two biggest answers, right, Keith?
Yeah, almost everybody we talk to cites Eddie Guerrero as an influence, which
or The Rock
is really gratifying to me because I always get worried when we're talking about these guys that die young, and I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, but it's Eddie Guerrero. Who's going to forget Eddie Guerrero?" And it's like, but we're 20 years out from the Attitude Era at this point. Eddie passed in 2004. Like, we have a whole generation of fans now that don't know Eddie Guerrero except for what they'll find on the network. And it always kind of scares me that there are these amazing talents out there that people are going to forget because they were gone too soon or things like that. I mean, Eddie was, name the facet of wrestling, and Eddie excelled at it. He excelled as a promo. He excelled as a worker. Everything. everything he
He
could do.
is one of the. He is definitely a legend. When he was a Black Tiger Mask. It was like, yo, he was so good back then.
Mhm.
It was like at the time it was like if you sit there and ask a question, what makes you different from anybody else? Eddie Guerrero was definitely a different type of a being to actually step foot in the ring. His standards was so high and good, and man, it hurt my soul. Like we lost a great one. Same with Chris Benoit. You know,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Chris Benoit, and you still have people like Dean Malenko. He's still he's there, and I was like, man, I wish they could have gave Dean Malenko a push too, because
Yeah.
he's for them to be a group together of when they was the Radicals and stuff. It
Yeah.
was that was a whole different type of thing. My dream match would be the Radicals versus the Four Horsemen,
There you
and I
go.
would definitely would love to watch that. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero is definitely the king of kings in my
All
book.
right, Keith. Keith, who is your dream match opponent for Frankie Pickard?
I mean, from what I've watched of Frankie and Frankie's style,
Mm.
I'm thinking maybe a little teacher versus student. Maybe Drew Gulak and Frankie. I think you guys could match up well. I mean, you got a little more of, I think, the flying, and where Drew, you got the facials, you got that ability to sell that I think I've seen a lot of people that even at the big leagues that I think don't recognize the power of that, the power of, how you make a punch look. Not just how
Right.
you take the punch, but what's on your face. Are you making sure that you're showing like that was the most devastating punch I've ever taken, or anything like that. So I mean, I think the technique and then that added ability you have to make it look that much better with your reactions and your selling, I think that would be really good.
Oh man, I would love to face him again. That was the best. That was the best match I ever had with.
Yeah, you have faced him, right?
Yeah, I
You have
faced
faced
him
him.
before.
You faced
Yeah,
him.
actually, it wasn't never a. Did I face him 1-on-1? Yeah, I did face him 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I faced him a couple of times. It was in a tag match, me and Connor versus Drew Gulak and Tracy Williams. Um,
Now, here's a question I've never asked.
mhm.
All right. I haven't. Keith will attest to this. Do you prefer one-on-one singles matches or tag?
Ugh.
Because that's a question I know a lot of guys would probably skate around, because if you stay tag, it means that you're lazy, which is not necessarily true.
No,
No,
I,
it's
I I
not.
think anybody who says that is full of crap. I mean,
Right.
look at some of the amazing tag teams that have been out there. I think that's one of the sins of the big companies now, is that there is so little premium put on good tag team wrestling and good tag teams.
Yes.
Yeah, like you got you got good tag team people like the Rep, Nate and Dave McCall, and they're out there killing it all over the place. They're killing it.
Yep.
They're like in my book, there are the next generation. They're basically I put them in the same thing of the Dudley Boys and the
Yeah.
Harlem Heats, and like that their style of like tag team is definitely um going to become legendary. The Rep is definitely somebody y'all should check out and look, because they're funny, and when they're funny, and they also get the job done, and they out there killing it. But as far as like me, I would have to go with a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I'm so used to doing 1-on-1. I tried the tag thing out,
Yeah.
um, but it just didn't fit right with me,
Yeah.
because then I want everybody to to move up. Like when I did the tag team thing, and like I tried so hard. Like Tahir James is one of like the most athletic guys out there, and I'm glad that he was my tag team partner. But I think that he's good as a solo, and like so is mine. I'm good as a solo, but it's just the problem with that is like when we every time we ring, it feels like that. I didn't want him to feel like that he's the Marty Jannetty because the crowd will always come out for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was that Shawn Michaels and he was the Marty Jannetty, and then
Right.
I don't know if it like got to him, but it worked. But then it started like dissipating and like facing off between me and him. I still love him and care for him, but I think like us together, it worked out as a team. But I guess the egos are too high.
So, guys, if you guys are watching, I'm about to give my answer because we heard Frankie's answer, and we heard Keith's answer of Drew Gulak. I'm about to give my answer. Send me a comment. Send me a comment of what your answer will be. Let me know. Okay, so my answer for your dream match, sir, and I don't know how you feel about him personally, or if you would even want to do it, but watching you and the highlights that you watched, I can see you with I can see you have a really good match with Adam Cole.
Yes, I miss him. I miss him so much. But yeah.
Have you crossed paths with Adam Cole before?
Mm-hmm.
He was also NXT? He was before that he was also at CZW.
Oh wow.
Then he went to ROH.
Right.
And it was just like he's a really funny dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely funny. He never take things any serious. He just like he'll just come out and make a joke or something.
You guys seem to get excited and happy for guys when they make it, so to speak. When guys like when Drew what's happening to Drew Gulak, that's part of you. Like that's happening, and like you're sharing in that, and then like guys that you've crossed paths with or guys that you've got to know when they do well, all you guys get really excited for that.
Yeah, it's just the people that we know and that tried so hard or get to that point that they'd be like, man, I don't think that they're gonna like get anywhere, or I don't think anybody's gonna get to that top. This is our real limit? This is our only limit type thing? But no, it wasn't. We just kept going and kept pushing. I respect Drew because Drew, he always would talk to me, and even though that he'll sit there, like I can come up to him and be like, "Hey, Drew, what do you think about my match?" And he'd be like, "Well, what do you think about your match?" And I'd be like, I think it could be better. I think you're right there. And he's like, well, there you go. And and he'll just sit there and we just like, it was some couple of good times, or like he'll Blackwater. I love him, and like I'll be around the him and Blackwater conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Blackwater, he'll go up there and say, well, Drew, what do you think about a match? He was like, oh, do you think you can have like horns coming out of the costume, more horns and stuff? And he was like, oh, it was good talk. And then like Blackwater walk away. He was like, oh, that's good talk. And then walk away. It's just like he makes you think, and he makes you like better yourself, like so much. That is a guy that really can have you going, especially cardio wise. I remember I was up there and he's trying to get himself ready, and he's like, "Frank, get in the ring." I'm like, And then we'll do the triple fives, and I'm like, "Man, I'm about to die. I'm really about to die," but I had to keep going because I'm like, it's Drew Gulak. It was like Drew's up there. Was like he wants a sparring partner or something. It's like, all right,
Right.
let's go. And no, but it's actually fun. It's definitely fun. Just looking at the years that I have, so much experience that I'll go, followed by going to like seeing Drew at this place and that place, and then
Yeah.
finally get to where he needs to be. Is definitely an inspiration. His actions give you a whole lot of inspiration. If you know a guy like him or a guy like Leo Rush that been in the
Yeah.
business probably for like 3-4 years, no, probably like 3 or 4 years tops now,
Yeah.
and see it and got far, is like, yeah, man, I definitely, because it makes you figure out, like, you know, these guys and what did they do, and how to get there and everything else. Maybe I need to find my own niche and find that, because these guys are great.
Well, I got some fan answers here. Anthony says the Brooklyn Brawler. I don't know why.
Brooklyn Brawler's underrated, though. I mean,
I'm not dissing. Listen,
carpenter.
I'm not dissing the Brooklyn Brawler. I'm saying
he was a great
Frankie,
carpenter.
the question is dream match. He could pick anybody, and he picks the Brooklyn Brawler. You know what I mean?
You know, because he's trolling like your son normally does.
Jack Gallagher.
That would be a good one.
That's a good one. It's the motivation, Greg says. Yeah, Greg's a fellow wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. When you guys see your colleagues succeed, guys that you worked with before, and you see them succeed, it is a motivation. That's awesome. So, was WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor, a goal for you?
Excuse me. WWE was definitely my goal, because I wanted to go up there. Like, I wanted to just go up there and just to go one-on-one with The Rock, and then just like put my boots right there.
I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
That's all I need. Yeah, that's all I needed. But then I didn't like watch Japan, and I didn't watch AEW, and it's crazy because it's like half the people that's in AEW I wrestled already.
Yeah.
You know, I had good matches. Me and Joey Janela, and yeah, there's a couple of other people that can, like, they wrestled Penelope Ford, and she's in AEW. And the world's greatest asshole that everybody hates is MJF. I wrestled him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of MJF and what he does.
Keith loves him. Keith loves him.
I do, because he's unafraid to be a heel. There's so many guys that it seems like they're willing to be a heel, but they want that back door open to be like not a complete heel. You know what I mean? So kind of give themselves an avenue to turn babyface. Which, I mean, on the independents, I understand that, because like yourself, you want to go back to the merchandise table. You want to be able to hawk your stuff, and it's a lot harder to do that when you had to spend the preceding however many minutes or hours telling all the fans to go screw themselves. It's kind of hard to change from go screw yourself into, hey, buy my t-shirt.
Yeah, he's definitely the Rick Rude of wrestling, the new Rick Rude generation.
Yeah, so do you watch a lot of AEW? Do you watch a lot of NXT? Do you watch it all?
Yeah, I watch NXT. I try to watch WWE, and it's no disrespect to the WWE.
No.
The only people that I probably would love to watch wrestle will be like Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak, or
right.
Those probably the only two, that I will watch because they do something new, or Cesaro, and
Yeah,
they should definitely give Cesaro a push, and I just
there's a
Oh,
name.
God, yes.
by my mind, like in my mind, I don't understand why they haven't,
Me
but like
neither.
those three, I would definitely sit there and watch. Like
Who do you like in NXT?
sometimes, huh? I
Who do
love
you like in
NXT.
NXT?
NXT is definitely good. I definitely watch it. It never ceased to amaze me. It never it's like, man, what can you do better after y'all just did 50 million moves already? What can you do the next day? And then they surprised me the next day and keep going on and on. I was like, wow, I love NXT. That's why I said like Triple H is smart to actually invent NXT because the Indies is the next big thing, and then you have AEW.
Yep.
AEW comes up there, and of course you got everybody the biggest stuff that's out there. They're out there killing it. Cody Rhodes and
Yeah.
Chris Jericho. Who would have knew that they'd be like, yo, let's go up there and just make our own federation,
And it gives them somewhere else to go.
yeah.
It gives everybody somewhere else to go, which is great, because not everybody is going to go to a WWF. Not everybody is going to the WWE now, but that's WWF to me. It always has been. Not everybody's going to get in there. Not everybody's going to get into Impact because at the end of the day, not everybody is going to be whoever is in charge of cup of tea. And there's got to be more places for guys to go to make a living, to be able to do this as more than a hobby.
Right.
Because so many guys we talk to, they're doing it, but they're also doing a shoot job on the side. And they do this because they love it. And the big thing that I want for anybody is to be in that situation where they can do what they love and exclusively do that. Be able to just go into that shoot job and say, you know what? Wrestling's finally paying off. I quit. I'm gonna go do what I love.
I got a big
Exactly.
comment here from Greg Thundercat. He's like, crazy thing is no matter how bad you are to the fans as a heel, if you are great at what you do in the ring, they will definitely buy your shirts.
And I mean, I think that's partially, a function of having smarter fans. I mean, but I always say with smart fans, I think there's two types of smart fans. There's the smart fans, like I hope myself is,
I mean,
where
aren't
yes,
these guys heels?
where yes, you know what's going on,
And
but
I
you
have their
also
shirt.
go to the
Make your
show
point.
and you participate in the right way. You boo the heels, you cheer the baby faces. You know what's up, but you respect the guys, you respect the workers. You're not that
But
fan that goes out there and writes smarky signs and tries
but
to prove how smart you are and how much you know. Like, I just think that's disrespectful
Yep.
But in
to a degree.
this new generation right now, what is heels? What is babyface now? Like it
Right.
seems like it's out the door. Nobody cares. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
everybody this new generation. Everybody's a tweener. You
They
yeah,
gotta look
feel
at
that
yeah. I
way.
Stone.
think it's a problem.
Yeah, you gotta look
I
at
think it's a
Stone Cold
big
Steve
problem.
Austin. He was forcefully to become a face, a
Right.
tweener, because he was basically a heel,
Mm-hmm.
but. So MJF is like y'all. Everybody already knows that he's a heel. Everybody know, everybody book. To me, like I said, he is the new generation Rick Rude.
He just
You
don't
know,
care. He don't
yeah,
care.
he just don't care. He just do everything else. Like Valentine Dream, like his character is something similar, but he's basically he knows he became a tweener. He's a heel, but yet
Mhm.
still everybody loves him because of what he does. It's about how you do stuff, and that's what changed the outcome.
Yep.
Shit, if Vince McMahon wants you to come out there in a diaper, damn, you better make the diaper look good somehow, some way. So
So you gonna watch NXT Takeover tonight?
I mean, look at Eugene, huh?
Are you gonna watch
Yeah.
NXT Takeover
I'm
tonight?
sorry. Look at
Oh, you said Eugene.
let's see.
Yeah.
I'm probably I probably am. I probably am gonna watch it tonight.
Until the Eagles come on.
Decisions.
No, yeah, you're right. Look at Eugene. Exactly. Vince McMahon had Goldust come out in a diaper with Stone Cold Steve Austin in a porta potty. You know, I mean,
I don't know. Your signal
But-
just went like completely like weird. No, there you go. There you go.
are we good?
Yeah. I think we got behind each
Yeah.
other a little bit there.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, going back to Eugene and Goldust and all that, I mean, that's also talent can overcome the pencil sometimes because Dustin Rhodes, I mean, even right now, Dustin Rhodes is 50 years old and he's working better than some of the 20-year-olds.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, without a doubt.
He is an amazing asset for
Jericho.
any company right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jericho's still got it. I mean,
I'll sit there and
Dustin's phenomenal. Dustin's something else.
yeah, I'll sit there and I'll ask everybody. Anybody can come up there and tell you. I'll ask everybody the same question. I'm like, how old is Super Crazy? And then everybody tell me, I was like, wow, this guy still got it. Like he's still doing flips. He's still doing this. And I'm like, this guy is amazing. For him to be, what is he, in his 50s? And I was like, wow. It's like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him and Tajiri watching that live at Guilty as Charged 99 and what they both became. I mean, my God, I was so happy for them because I was blown away by that first match and then the way they were able to change and adapt and, you know, go to the big show and have great careers there where I think a lot of people would have said, you know, how are these guys going to do it? They're not going to be Vince's cup of tea. And they figured out how to do it. More power to them. I love both those guys.
They're such amazing guys. When I got a chance to the face Super Crazy, I was like,
Thanks,
man,
Greg.
I remember laying right there, and he's like doing flips and trying to land on me while he in midair. I'm sitting there, like, this is so cool. He's landing right on me. This is so bad.
It's cool until you
Everything
realize,
was
holy crap,
happening
it's
in
coming
slow
down on
motion
me.
in my head. Huh?
It's cool until you realize, oh wait, when he lands, I'm what he's landing on.
Exactly. You just see him in slow motion, like, man, this is so pretty. This is so good. Oh wait, he's going after me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch NXT Takeover from 7 o'clock until 8:30.
Yeah, that's why I think. That's why I think about like NXT is like NXT is definitely something right there, and I think that was a good choice of when AEW made a It was like, hey, we're going to be on TV. They know that WWE is not going to competition with AEW because AEW was on a whole different type of breed, different level. So the smartest thing, which I knew that they was going to put NXT on TV. We ain't going to do the internet no more. We need them to go on TV like fast because I already know AEW would kill it. And what they did when they first started, the ratings blew WWE ratings out of the portion. So it's like, we definitely need NXT.
Yeah. So I mean, is there a specific match tonight you're looking forward to?
Yeah. Somebody that can put me on the edge. I'm just looking for any match that can put me on the edge and be like, oh my God, now that's a match.
I'm really looking forward to Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly.
I think that's going to be really good.
I think it's going to be better than people think. That's for the title.
That's definitely will do it. It's crazy because Finn Balor is so good.
Yeah,
he is,
and they just so like misusing him so many different ways. It's like, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, they brought him up, and he was like, he was going to be their Universal Champion, and he got hurt. So I mean, it's bad luck, really. I mean, I don't think
there's that, but you gotta wonder how long would he have been Universal Champion? How well would he have been pushed as Universal Champion?
We don't
But
know.
they've got that thing every so often where they're like, all right, let's shut up the internet, people. Let's give them what they want for a couple months, and then we'll go back to doing it our way.
I
And
think that the Universal Championship would have never been on Brock Lesnar. It would have, the WWE Championship would have been on Brock Lesnar. So when Brock Lesnar had those Universal title runs for like a year, and he wrestled twice, two or three times a year, that would have been the WWE title if Finn Balor would have been healthy. And I think that title would have been the one that's defended every pay-per-view.
see, I just tend to think because it was the Raw title, and the Raw title is always the number one title.
They never had a chance to build it, Keith, and now it's flip-flopped. Now the WWE title's on Raw.
Yeah, I don't
title's on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't love when they do stuff like that either. I think that hurts your brand identification and stuff like that. Because I mean, I think you'll agree with me, Frankie. You've got to keep your titles important.
Yeah.
You know, your title always any title, even any title, you got to make that important so that way whoever wins it looks important for having it.
Yeah,
because otherwise, why have the title?
That's what I do. Like, I do like just have the fans still remember. Like, I do this now. I'll be out there. It's like different pictures that I put up there. I'm like, man, I'm still the H2O hybrid champion, and
you are.
I'll do it like once in a while to have the people, because you know the indies. That's the only thing. That's probably what our downfall is in the indies is. I'll say the reason why GCW makes is so good. Game Changer Wrestling is so good because you have you got your Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's Nick Gage, and you know your Rock was definitely Joey Janela, and then you have your biggest heels Ricochet Page. So you have that angle that people will like to see. The our indies, the problem with our indies is hey, this is everybody's dream match, and then after that, what else is next? It is never a story of growing up. Everybody would say, "Hey, would you do ultra violence, or would you do this?" And it was like, "Why? It has to have a meaning. I'm not going to sit out there and then come to a perfect stranger that I never wrestled and be like, I'll face you in a no rope barbed wire match," and then be like, "Why? What did I do to you? Like, what did I do wrong? You know, or who's the face of the company, or who's the biggest heel of the company?" I think that's the problem with the indies right now. That's why I'm saying like GCW has gotten it, because they got the face of the company and they got the heel, and same thing with H2O. H2O, they got the heel of the company. You know, you got a heel faction and trying to take over everything, and then you got to find out who will be the face of the company, and it's just me. I look at things of telling a good story, and how can they go past. I don't want it to be like, oh, we took a good story, and then the next day I'll fight somebody else, and then it's like, if it's there and you got a good chemistry, just keep working with it and keep building. That's where you get the most money. That's
up your alley, man. He's talking about building.
That's everything I've said forever, because at the end of the day, if you're roping yourself into some kind of storytelling formula, and WWE does it a lot, where it's like 3 matches and out, or 3 months and out, well, goddamn, you're going to run out of opponents at that point. You're going to run out of matchup sooner rather than later. So like if you're saying, if you got something organically that can go for 5 months, 6 months, a year, whatever, milk it. Run it until you don't got no money in it anymore. Go on to the next thing. And if it was really that great, you could probably come back to it in a year or so when people have kind of forgotten about it, and not completely forgotten about it, but they haven't gotten it in a while, and then they get that tease again, and they're like, "Oh, I remember how good this was last time," and now they've gone to another level with it. ooh, yes, my money, take all the money, please take my money. That's how this is supposed to work. That's
Uh,
why they put angles in wrestling in the first place.
right. And that's why I sit there and I sit there and I watch every wrestling. I watch every wrestler, they'll do their business and everything else. But I also see an eye of chemistry. Like I said before, me and Mike Dell has the best chemistry between me and him. Leo Rush got the greatest chemistry between him and Joey Janela.
Yeah.
And then you have like you just sit there. Look, I'm sorry, there's people out there blasting music and stuff. Welcome to
It's all
Philly,
right.
everybody. But
Welcome to Philly.
but but they just don't utilize. They don't like really pass it. You got like right now you have Nick Gage keep following and chasing Ricochet Page, and Ricochet Page is the most hated person that's up there in GCW. You got the face versus the Hill, and everybody wants to see that. And once that happens, in that big win of Nick Gage doing it, then the crowd will lose it. That's what we lost. When everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm a big fan of wrestling," and then when they actually do their own promotions and stuff, and then they're just like, "Oh, I just want to do dream matches," and it's like dream matches is good for one day, and it's like, "Oh man, I definitely want to come and see that," but then you have another show is like, I already got my dream match already, so why should I do? No, I want to keep coming. You keep coming, you got to tell a story. But that's just me. That's just how I see things and
Is that
think
something
of
you
things.
had to? Is that something you had to learn over time, or is that how you've always felt?
Actually, that's something that I always learned in time because when I first started, I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, the Rock and Triple H, they had a long ending feud.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, it was so good. But it had me drawn of me becoming a professional wrestler. So when I came there, I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I learned very well. It was like, oh man, I'm seeing people that does spots and they're killing it. And then the next day is just like, the crowd goes up once and then it just went straight down. And then I'm sitting there looking at promoters, and promoters like, man, I don't understand. We had a good spot, a good show last month, and then this month is like, let's see, last month will probably be like 300 or close to 400 people, and then this month is only like 150, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. But that's me. I started tending to grow. It was like, y'all looking at making money, then this is probably the formula that y'all should do.
Right.
Look how well driven GCW is. Anywhere GCW, I see fans up there booking like plane tickets to go. If they in Japan, half of the fans are going to Japan to see GCW. If they going to California, they're driving all the way down to California because that formula works. Everybody else, different places, there's what formula. Like there's a formula like at CZW when they had Dojo Wars. There's a formula. Work your students. Then when the main show happens, you have that. Then the end results will go right there into the main show. But nobody don't do that. It's just, oh, I'm coming here to see the dream match. Oh, AR Fox versus Leo Rush. Oh, I'm definitely all right. I'm done. That's all I need to see. And why would I come back? That's the problem with the indies right now. Exactly.
And well, all right, man. Well, we're reaching that top of the hour. I don't want to cut into NXT Takeover. I'm not going to cut into NXT Takeover. That hour went quick, man. You you were awesome. Keith,
thank you.
Yeah, man. Keith and I wish you nothing but the best in everything that you do. Just keep at it, man. You got it all. You've done it all in the indie scene, man. And I'd love if a door opened for you somewhere.
I can't understand anything.
Too, obviously.
Just breaking up.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're having internet difficulties at the end here.
Yeah. But I mean, you've got a great mind for this too. Obviously, you know what's up. Where, like you say, some people don't. Where they think it's all about the steak and give people an amazing steak dinner 1 month, and then say, "Hey, do you want to come back for the same steak dinner again?" Well, some people are gonna, and some people are gonna say, "Hey, you know, it was so good last time. I live with the memory of it." Oh, and we lost him.
We lost him. All right. So yeah, it was. We'll see if he comes back, Keith. But it was great having Frankie on. A lot of knowledge there, man. A lot of going on there. He's coming back. You all right, man?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we're wrapping stuff up, man. It was great having you, though. Thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
Keith. You got any
Thank
parting?
you.
You got any parting gifts for my man?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was great to have you here. It's great to have somebody here that is so free with their knowledge and is just throwing stuff out there that hopefully some of our audience is picking up on.
Hi.
Use. Hello. Got a photo bomb going on there.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's nice. It's nice to meet somebody else that loves superheroes and anime and all that stuff as much as I do.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to dive into cosplay. We're gonna have to get you on again, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, anytime, man. Definitely.
Alan knows nothing about that stuff. I need more people I can talk to.
Yeah. We didn't even get into the cosplay, but I know you. I've seen some. Go on this guy's Facebook page if you don't believe me, and check out Spider-Man, Frankie Pickard, and Batman, Frankie Pickard, and you know.
Hell, I even do Star Trek.
Even does Star Trek. Yeah, Captain Pickard. Yo, man, and go Birds.
Yes, go Birds.
All right, so before we get out of here, Keith, I want to remind everybody that later at 8 o'clock, Chrissy, our friend, is going to be on Cyphered Knowledge, and she's going to have a bodybuilder on there talking personal training. So that should be very informative, very interesting. And on Wednesday, Spitting with Spitter on his normal time slot at noon. And the last thing we're going to say is you can find this guy, Frankie Pickard, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can see him tomorrow if you're in the Williamstown area. You can see him tomorrow on H2O Discovered. Sorry, I lost my voice there. H2O Undiscovered tomorrow night, bell time 7 o'clock at 1041 Glassboro Road, Williamstown, New Jersey. Frankie Pickard, thanks for coming on Around the Turnbuckle, bud.
Thank you for having me, man. I'd love to do this all over again.
Yeah, we got to talk cosplay next time.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I will see. Keith. We will see everybody again next time on Around the Turnbuckle. Enjoy. Coming up at 7 o'clock, NXT TakeOver.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh yeah! Woo! What? If you smell what the rock.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.